Good evening, everyone. My name is Brian Edwards. I am one of the two members of Forum 5 that you did not hear from yesterday. Good evening, everyone. My name is Brian Edwards. I am one of the two members of Forum 5 that you did not hear from yesterday, and we thank you for joining us for day 2 of our 4-day presentation, in which we unveil our project, the year-long project of the Gaming City. Unheard from member. Today, along with myself, we will have Mohammed Benchakroon, the other unheard from member, today's focus as well as Jeffrey Watt, which you all heard from yesterday. And today's focus is primarily presenting the data which we collected, right? And there were multiple ways in which we did collect this data. Firsthand was a survey that we constructed and then executed, as well as conducting market data research, as well as to understand efficacy of SWOT analysis, approaching such a project, as well as producing a SWOT analysis, analyzing multiple cities around the world, and trying to figure out which location might be the best for this kind of project to be conducted in. Research which we have collected over the last several months. But before we dive into the nitty-gritty details of the data and research which we have collected over the last several months, it'd be really beneficial if we did a brief recap of what we covered yesterday on day 1. And yesterday's primary focus was architecturally designed space that melded both the digital landscape with the physical reality we live in. And this theory revolves around an envisioning of a new landscape in which realities would harmoniously interact with one another. And by establishing an understanding of the ideated spaces with the ideal space, we can then create a new space, one which will redefine the future environment. So you may be wondering, well, why this project and why now? And really what it comes down to is that we have before us an opportunity to capitalize and advance upon the cultural phenomenon that is gaming and what the technological industries have come to be over the last several decades. And we really hope to capture and coalesce the vigor of these industries to bring the world into a new era of social gaming experiences. Now, the gaming industry has seen substantial growth over the last 2 decades, with each new technological advancement taking the market to new and unprecedented heights. When the gaming industry ventured into new territory of the explosive accessibility via mobile devices, explosivity further exaggerated when smartphones became the norm for mobile communications. Now, this ability to game on mobile devices has allowed people to game on the go and game wherever they wish. And just as mobile gaming technology has redefined the gaming experience for the first decade of the 21st century, the mid-2010s technological advancements in the realm of virtual and augmented reality have now made it possible for people to engage in high-fidelity gaming environments with a level of physical and social engagement that we've never seen before. And as of 2020, the total population of the gaming community has exceeded more than 2.5 billion participants, with nearly 1 billion living in the world's most accessible countries. And with a third of the world's population participating in the gaming industry, we find ourselves living in the early years of what is to become the next technological revolution centered around augmented reality, which will redefine the gaming experience and gaming industry in totality. So one of the biggest contributors to the pool of data which we collected over the last several months was a survey that we constructed and conducted over a period of several weeks in December of 2019. And although us members of Forum 5 are relatively young gamers ourselves, and we may feel that we have an accurate picture and understanding of how society and culture are being affected by gaming and technology, in this particular case, anecdotal evidence is just not enough to support this endeavor, which we ultimately undertook. And in our pursuit of first-hand empirical evidence, we decided to construct a survey that would allow us to document and visually understand the complex predilections of individuals in a gaming space. Now, this survey was executed over a quick but very deliberate period of time, so that through the survey, the data offered us a glimpse into the world of gamers and how their individual views coalesced into the greater populace's views on gaming, such as what experiences they may or may not have had with the related technologies, as well as how they perceive the future of gaming progressing. It was also important to begin with understanding very basic qualities of gaming that could help us identify specific characteristics among the population. Some of the subjects we gathered data on were: how many hours do you spend gaming per day? What is your preferred method of gaming interaction? Which platforms are most utilized and why? As well as which preferences did the respondents have when it came to the type of gameplay they enjoyed most. While a significant portion of the survey was focused on establishing a foundation of easily identifiable gamer characteristics and preferences, in order for our theory and eventual concept to succeed, we needed to establish a secondary focus within the survey. And this other focus became to canvass the general public on their experiences with VR and AR technology and to see whether or not their perceptions of this technology are where they need to be for us to have a successful project. And it also allowed us to gain a deeper understanding of what factors may play a role in pushing or inhibiting our design concepts further down the road. It was really through this secondary focus in the survey that we discovered that a majority of the participants have had far more experience with VR technology compared to that of AR. And we also discovered that a large majority of these participants agree that the future of gaming lies within the VR and AR realms. However, in the current state that VR and AR technology is in, very few participants believe that it is worth investing in at this moment in time. It also became apparent that the people are indeed interested in VR and AR technology and that they believe it can be utilized in a physical aspect as well as a social. As technology continues to grow and develop, we expect seamless integration of how the digital landscape can interact with the physical realm, thus paving the way for this project.
We believe that this project reflects the need and growth of technology as a cultural phenomenon and current market growth. There is no denying the social impact gaming has had on the past decade. Our project aims to take hold of the current projected growth of this industry, a growth that has seen continued development since the early 2000s. According to the market reports, 2019 global game market revenue reached $152 billion and will continue to increase at a rate of 9.6% year over year. Market researchers believe by the year 2022, the total game industry revenue will be close to $200 billion. In tandem with the global games market comes a new contributor to the already established gaming industry, the burgeoning market of esports. It is changing the landscape of gaming culture and erasing the perception that gaming is purely sedentary. It is now a physical means for social interaction. Up 27% from 2018, 2019 saw esports generate total revenue of $1.1 billion and is expected to generate nearly $2 billion by 2022. One of the reasons why esports has been able to grow in the way it has is due to the recent interest in the market from sponsors such as Red Bull, Nike, Puma, BMW, Honda, just to name a few. This has resulted in high-earning tournaments, with the top esports team earning over $24 million in prize money for 2019. With the continued partnering of companies that predominantly sponsor traditional sports teams, we will see a rise in popularity and platform in which esports will continue to prosper into the future. A major contributor to the sharp increase in gaming industry revenue over the last 5 years or so is the emergence of new technologies such as streaming. The world's most popular streaming service hosted on average over 1.6 million concurrent viewers per month for the calendar year 2019. In the last year alone, over 660 billion minutes of content was consumed on the platform. Streaming has changed the way in which people can consume content related to gaming and has already begun to shift the culture in a way that brings people closer together than they ever have in the gaming community. While streaming allows people to consume game content 24/7, advancements in AR and VR technologies has brought a level of realism and environmental interaction that was not possible a mere 10 years ago. Mobile AR games have set the standard for an augmented reality game space. Introducing most of the world to the incredible power of AR has to redefine the social-cultural aspects of gaming in a physical space. These accessible experiences are efficient solutions that reach the widest demographic and prepare the global community for emergent technology, breaking the stigma and apprehension that may keep the people from embracing it. Though, however, accessible VR and AR technologies have become, they are currently lacking a connection to the physical world. There is a disconnect between the digital and physical social experiences. This is what we strive to solve with the inception of the Gaming City. As we mentioned, the burgeoning sector of the gaming industry, that is esports, has become a predominant means in which gamers can attend, watch, and physically partake in gaming competitions at specific areas in the world's largest cities. These esports events, which are designed around a tournament structure, hosted an audience both physical and digital of nearly 460 million in 2019. This figure is roughly 2.5 times greater than the NFL's total regular season viewership in 2019. To date, the most popular game by its esports viewership had an audience of 100 million in 2019, reaching all corners of the world. Forbes is projecting that esports audience will reach a staggering 645 million in 2020, representing a 40% increase over 1 year. Many of these esports events in today's configuration are seeking event space and specific destinations that attendees could identify as a beacon to the gaming industry and culture. To capture the broadest group of today's gamers and consumers, it is imperative to provide a holistic experience that merges the casual with the competitive, allowing for the gaming city to foster an experience that merges these sectors in an immersive physical venue experience. This welding of the two worlds will generate an experience which participants have never experienced before, pushing the boundaries of what we know as a world of gamers.
Upon further research, we concluded that San Diego would be the ideal location in developing our project. A strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat analysis was done for a multitude of metropolitan areas to determine the most logical host for the gaming city. San Diego's major strengths included the already established tourism market and a steady year-round climate with no extremes in the weather. Other strengths include large-scale diversity, convention events such as the world-renowned San Diego Comic-Con, sponsorship opportunities, and the fact that San Diego is indeed a destination city. With this research, we located 4 potential sites in our preliminary assessments. These sites include the San Onofre Power Plant, Fiesta Island, SDCCU Stadium, and the South Bay Salt Works. Upon analyzing the research found on these sites, we determined that the most logical site for our project would be the SDCCU Stadium, previously known as the Qualcomm Stadium. Originally used to house the then San Diego Chargers football team, the new site is now set for demolition and reconstruction of a new stadium. It would have the least environmental impact, seeing that it was previously used as a sports stadium. Transportation to and from the location includes a trolley station directly on the site, as well as easy access to 3 major highway systems. These factors all played a role in selecting San Diego and the SDCCU Stadium as the ideal city and the ideal site. San Diego has long been a destination city for its beautiful locale, its many vacation amenities, and its international presence. In 2018 alone, San Diego welcomed nearly 36 million visitors that spent close to $19 billion on local industries. Of these visitors, 15.5 million visited some sort of main attraction specific to San Diego. With an already strong economic contribution from these visitors, San Diego enjoys a worldwide draw and recognition through the culturally significant conventions such as Comic-Con. With over 130,000 attendees during a 4-day period every July, Comic-Con represents 21% of San Diego's convention center's attendance per annum, with these attendees spending well over $150 million during this short period. The cultural clot surrounding conventions, like aforementioned, has allowed the industries represented at these conventions to receive world recognition and develop into something perhaps too large for the city's current supply of event space. Maintaining and expanding on the already extremely coinciding nature of the entertainment, fantasy, comic, and tech industries related to these conventions will provide San Diego the opportunity to cement itself as the gaming experience capital of the world, like Silicon Valley is to the tech revolution and Los Angeles is to the film revolution. So why is San Diego the best location for the gaming city? Not only would the gaming city allow for San Diego to capitalize on an already explosive culture-defining events, but it also has the advantage of a strong base of highly recognized tech corporations such as Qualcomm and universities on the forefront of tech research. San Diego has the benefit of a strong community relationship among the industries that would be necessary for realizing the gaming city. A healthy community provides the framework from which we can define a new social experience in San Diego. With a cultural defining addition of the gaming city, San Diego would witness improvements and exposure to the city, the likes of which have not been seen here before. This project has the potential to reinvigorate existing industries within San Diego today, as well as introducing new industries to the region of California. Industries once solely relegated to specific geographic areas outside of San Diego. Now, we would like to focus on the destination culture that the gaming city would contribute to San Diego's continually evolving identity. Within the last 10 years, the gaming industry has transitioned from a unit sold valuation to one which now includes the likes of content streaming platforms and the highly lucrative industry of esports. People are now willing to pay to watch and pay to attend gaming events to become further engrossed in the broader gaming culture. Where the last several decades have seen gaming as a sedentary in-home experience, the gaming culture being fostered today through emergent technologies is one that reintegrates a physical social quality which has long been a lacking experience throughout the gaming world.
So thus concludes our second day of presentations of the 4-day series in which we unveil our entire Gaming City project. Now, if you made it late to the stream today, the focus of today's presentation was on the research and data that we had collected to support our development and conceptualization of the project. Beginning tomorrow, Wednesday, we will begin to go into detail on the specific architectural design concepts found throughout the Gaming City. And actually on the screen right now, we have a little bit of a teaser, like storyboard images, some renders of what you can expect to see over the next couple of days. And before we head off into the Q&A session for this presentation today, on behalf of the whole Forum 5 team, I'd really like to thank all of you for taking time out of your day to be here and to actively participate in this discussion that we're having about the Gaming City. And we really appreciate you being here and supporting us as we unveil this topic. So again, thank you, and now we'll have the Q&A session.
Hi everyone. Right now the Q&A section is open to everyone. Hi, great question. So you brought up that these events typically take place in a convention center, and is a gaming city a proposed physical area or a new kind of event taking place in those centers? Well, so tomorrow we will be discussing more about um, the exact architectural elements that we will be designing for. But yes, our goal is to have a multitude of spaces available for hosting events such as uh, things typically found during Comic Con or sports arenas or stuff like that. But tomorrow will be more in-depth, design-centered development of the concepts.
Yo, Nate. Wait, what?
Well, thank you for everyone who tuned in today for our day 2 presentation of the Gaming City. Please come back tomorrow at 6 p.m. for our day 3 presentation. There we will be discussing more of the detailed design concepts and presenting renderings and design ideas.